Now, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Today we're doing something a little bit special because we don't generally do galley tours. And the chef is very particular about having people, as chefs are, in his kitchen. But today, exclusively for Pretending Club guests, we're going to take you in there. So we'll take you all around. But if you have any questions, we're going to meet back on the other side here and on the outside of the kitchen, and then you can ask all the questions that you wish. If you can imagine, yesterday the chefs were saying that 16,000 meals are served every day on Queen Mary 2. So out of those 16,000 meals a day, I'm just going to give you a few facts on what the ship goes through, and this is only on a 6-day voyage. So it goes through about 50 tons of fresh fruit and fresh vegetables. Can you believe that? 12 tons of meat, 8 tons of poultry, 13 tons of fish and seafood, 2 tons of cheeses and dairy products, 2 tons of sugar, 20,000 liters or 5,000 gallons of fresh milk. How are you, Mr. Morning. 32,400 eggs. 20 kilograms of Russian Caviar, costing us approximately $25,000 worth of caviar for 6 days. You can order it. You can order it. And as well, 4 tons of flour and 2 tons of rice. Now, one of the greatest elements, when I joined 2.5 years ago, I walked in this galley for the first time, and I thought, you know, I've worked in many restaurants throughout my life, and kitchens are a little bit touch and go. Those of you that know a little bit about restaurants, you know that sometimes kitchens are a little bit, So I walked in there, and it is pristine. So I'm thinking maybe the media's on, something's going on, and for 2.5 years now, every time we get to a port, they completely break down this kitchen. They take off the walls, the screws, all the elements in this galley. They take it all down, clean it, and then reset it again. So, let's come over here and I'll show you what this is all about. Back there, can you hear me? You can hear me? All right. So everything you see here, everything is in stainless steel. And if you can believe that over 2 sittings, 2,000 guests will be served out of this kitchen. We've got 1, 2, and then on the other side, 3, 4 machines, which will pass about 15 to 20,000 pieces of china per service. It's amazing. Follow me. I'm just going to ask you to stand right over here. Now, if you're not impressed about the magnitude of this galley now, can I direct your attention to this door? This here, come on up front. This during service is our lifeline. This is a computer system that predicts the amount of items that will be prepared by the chef. So the executive chef stands here, looks at the board exactly like in an airport, and says, okay, I've got 1,230 people right now, 750 of them are having lobster, and in the meantime, this line here, and on the other side as well, are preparing about 1,200 lobster tails all at once. They only prepare food in small batches, 10 batches at a time, so that the quality of the product is not compromised. When you have lovely al dente pasta, it's because they only make them 10 at a time, or vegetables, the same thing. Everything is broken up into sections. So you've got, on this side here, which we're going to visit in a few moments, this is the cold side. So any salad, anything cold, vegetables, is here. This is line number 1. So this is where all the food, your plate, actually goes through different steps as it's being prepared. So you've got the grilled chef, the saucier, which takes care of the sauce. And as your plate goes through that line, everything is added. And we're going to go this way here. We're going to go through that line. Now you notice they're preparing for the lunch service. Just move a little bit to that side over here. end of the restaurant, and you have to be able to go completely through the galley to your table, serve that table before that plate gets cold. Because if it gets cold, the fury of the executive chef falls upon you very quickly. So you can imagine just the magnitude of everything. And we're very proud, actually, that we're pretty much the only ship on public health regulations, and all the tests that they do, we consistently get 100%. Now, some of you may say that's very good, you're very thorough in your cleaning, but the dedication of our team and the teamwork that we have, and the pride that we have working on the flagship of Cunard is really what makes it happen. It's not just picking up soap and cleaning everything. As you can tell, it's huge. But it's also being very proud of the plates that we bring and the wine that we serve, and just basically being very happy to have you on board. Follow me. All the plates that are served, you have different chefs, and they're heated here. So you've got different systems here where we make sure that all the plates are kept warm here. The other thing that we have is we have something called alto shams. Anyone ever heard of something called an alto sham? It is basically a unit on wheels that can cook, heat, reheat, anything that you wish. So as they're preparing things fresh, they're also making sure that the other elements around your plate are kept at the right temperature. So that when it's served, everything should be at a perfect temperature. If it's not, please tell me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one last thing that I want to show you. First and foremost, breakfast service. For those of you that work in restaurants, breakfast service is one of the most important services. If you can believe, we have 6 units like this for coffee. After one breakfast service, each machine will be used 3 times with about 500 liters per machine of coffee being served every single breakfast. But one of the things that I believe would be the only flaw on board this ship is as we go through an exit, I'm going to show you where every single drink comes out of for those 1,250 guests. And you can tell that the person that created this was obviously not a bartender, because it's probably the smallest space I've ever seen in my life. But follow me. Now, even as big as our galley is, if you can believe that this is only 1/4 of what the Britannia has for equipment and preparation areas to be able to get a meal from the galley to your table. We have a butcher shop because we do all our own butchery. Every single piece of bread is baked on board from scratch. Also, our pastry area. So everything that is underneath this restaurant, including the kitchen, are solely preparation areas so that the food can be brought up, prepared, and then brought out. So you have a whole other galley underneath here, which unfortunately I can't take you to. But this is where they prepare all the meats. facts before we finish. As we're a very proper British ship, 700 English scones are usually served per day in the Queen's Room, which are made from scratch as well. Anyone try the scones? You have to, they're pretty good. 9,500 canapes are consumed during the captain's cocktail party, and they're all made individually. And in our wonderful King's Court, 120 pizzas are consumed every day, and over 8,000 linen napkins are used and laundered every day. So I hope you enjoyed, because it certainly impresses me every time I tell these numbers. I hope you enjoyed our galley tour, and I hope that it makes you a little bit part of the food and beverage family, and it makes you a little bit more proud to be a Culinary. Thank you very much.
Thank you.